There's a generation that remembers rotary phones and the first iPhone launch. Psychologists can't figure out where to put them. You're caught between two worlds, and your brain developed differently because of it. If you were born between 1976 and 1985, you're a Xennial. Researchers call you a microgeneration because your window is so specific. You spent childhood completely analog. Boredom was normal. Missing your TV show meant gone forever. Then suddenly, right as you hit adulthood, everything went digital. Research shows your prefrontal cortex matures until age 25. A Nature neuroscience study confirms this. You were in this high plasticity window when technology transformed everything. Your brain rewired in real time. This created psychological patterns no other generation has. Today, we explore what makes you genuinely unique. Psychology says your relationship with privacy is fundamentally different from everyone else. You grew up when embarrassing moments just faded into memory. That 7th grade haircut, that breakup, that drunk night at a party. No photo evidence exists anywhere. Research on autobiographical memory shows our brains naturally edit experiences over time. We keep what matters. We let the rest fade. But permanent digital documentation changed this process forever. Your memories could evolve, reshape, become stories the way human memory naturally works. You weren't trapped by documentation. Younger generations will never understand what you lost. The freedom to forget. The chance to completely reinvent yourself. Your past stayed fluid, changeable. This shaped your identity in ways neuroscience is still trying to understand. Your brain learned early that not everything needs recording. Your brain absorbed a lesson about trust nobody taught explicitly. Making plans without texting "running late" or "where are you" required completely different commitment. You showed up and hoped your friends would too. Psychologists call this delayed gratification training. Your reward system developed differently than digital natives. When you made plans, you kept them. No safety net existed, no backup options. Research shows this builds what psychologists call frustration tolerance. Modern brains expect instant confirmation for everything. Yours learned genuine patience. You waited for callbacks. You waited for letters. You waited for your favorite song on the radio, finger on record. This waiting wasn't wasted time. It was neural training. Your dopamine system calibrated differently. Small victories felt absolutely massive. Getting through on a busy line, your friend actually being home. These micro rewards shaped your emotional regulation. Then came 2008. You entered the job market right as everything collapsed around you. Research on financial trauma shows economic hardship during your 20s creates lasting psychological patterns that don't easily disappear. People who experience job loss during career establishment carry those experiences forward even after situations improve. It shaped how you think about money, security, risk in permanent ways. You learned to adapt to massive technological change. Then you got economically burned while trying to build basic stability. Your brain developed what psychologists call adaptive pessimism. You can navigate change because you had to survive it, but you also carry this underlying current running through every decision. What if it all falls apart again? This combination creates a unique psychological profile, optimistic enough to try, skeptical enough to have backup plans. This isn't weakness. It's survival intelligence. Here's what nobody talks about in generational debates. You experienced both helicopter-free childhoods and early internet optimism before disillusionment set in. Gen X had the freedom but missed digital hope. Millennials had the digital world but lost the freedom. You got both experiences. Psychology calls this cognitive flexibility at its finest. Your parents didn't know where you were for hours at a time. That was completely normal. You solved problems alone. You entertained yourself. You dealt with boredom without immediate adult intervention. Then you reached adulthood when technology promised to connect everyone and solve everything, before we all realized it might actually complicate things. Your brain holds these contradictions without breaking under pressure. Independent yet collaborative, skeptical yet optimistic, analog yet digital. Research shows most people struggle with cognitive dissonance. You live in it comfortably every single day. You also became what some call the Oregon Trail generation. That computer game in elementary school wasn't just entertainment or time wasting. It was your bridge moment between worlds. You played it on floppy disks in computer labs. You learned basic DOS commands. You died of dysentery repeatedly. But you also went home to completely analog lives. No internet, no cell phones. Just bikes and streetlights telling you when to return home. Psychologists studying this specific cohort found something interesting. You developed what they call technological resilience. You're not intimidated by new software like older generations. You remember life before it existed. You're not addicted to constant connection like younger ones. You remember existing peacefully without it. You became tech support for older generations while staying grounded. You translate between worlds effortlessly. The cultural conversation about generations completely misses you. It pits Gen X against Millennials as if everyone born between 1965 and 2000 is basically the same. But specific birth years during rapid change create distinct psychological experiences. You deal with a paradox that's genuinely unusual. You have Gen X self-reliance because helicopter parenting wasn't standard yet. But you reached adulthood during early internet optimism. You're independent and cooperative, doubtful yet hopeful, digital but analog. What defines the Xennials is this ability to hold contradictions without it feeling weird or uncomfortable. You remember the before and after clearly. You see what was gained and what was lost. If you're a Xennial, you probably feel like you don't quite fit anywhere. Too young for some things, too old for others, caught between two worlds constantly. That's not a flaw or problem. That's actually your defining feature. In a world changing faster than anyone can predict, living through one massive transition might be the most valuable thing you could have learned. You adapted to transformation itself. If this resonated with you, subscribe. I've got more content exploring what makes different groups psychologically unique. See you in the next one.